welcome back to the Forensics Detail and Forensics Unplugged. Do not forget to subscribe, check out our Patreon page if you like the channel. Today, and now for something completely different. Sorry, that was supposed to be the Monty Python theme tune. Today we're going to be talking about tyres. I've been running on my M140 for, how long? 6 months? Something like that? Don't know, not that long. Let's say 4 months, tentatively. Tyres called Kumho Ecsta PS91s. These are a Korean-made tyre, so interesting. Silica compound, so this is a bit like a detailing review. Even the SiO2 has made it as far as tyres. I didn't know that tyres used silica in their composition. You know, if it was like rubber, different forms of rubber and metal and God knows what else. Silica in there. Also described as a unique tread patterns on the front and rear. Just forgive me, I'm looking down, I just made some notes to make it easier. So unique patterns on the rear for launching and the front for kind of grip. And I'll overlay you those tread patterns. They look very similar to me. Just got me a bit worried. Put in the comments if you know anything about that. Maybe it's more subtle than my eyes can pick up. But essentially, guys, Ecsta PS1s are like extreme, ultra, top of the range performance now. In that kind of battle of one-upmanships, it seems like tyres have gone from this is our best tyre to this is our super best tyre to our, you know, ultra best tyre to the magnificent range tyre. You run out of expletives, but essentially this is their top of the range performance tyre that you would put on cars, you know, like your M3s, your RS4s, your AMGs, all these performance road cars you're going to be driving very hard and possibly putting on a track and driving as well. So not an out-and-out race tyre, but a road tyre with extreme performance that's going to get driven hard. That's a description of what they are. Okay. Now I'm going to jump straight into what I think about these tyres, guys. Now, first of all, my experience of running tyres on the M140 is I've been using the Michelin Pilot Super Sports, which is the tyres that are qualified, you know, BMW qualified to use on this car. And they are the only tyres that BMW will put on your car, on your M140. I don't think they're allowed to put other tyres on there. I don't know about that. Put in the comments if you know about that. They wouldn't put any others on for me, but the Michelin Pilot Super Sport tyre has been discontinued as far as I know. Now, I went and put a brand new set of Michelin Pilot Super Sport tyres on to this car. I then went and did a half track day at Goodwood, where I drove, you know, 5 sessions of 5 laps, driving the car, you know, not on the bitter edge. I'd love to think I was on the limit, you know, but I'm actually not that quick, you know, but driving quite hard, well within the confines of a powerful car like this. I then took the car home, and a few days later I had the end of 3-year service check at BMW. So they go through and check your car after 3 years because your warranty's up. They checked the car and made a note that my front tyres were red, which means immediate, it needs attention immediately, and it because they were worn on the outside edge. And I was shocked because they were brand spanking new, you know, literally just run for 20 miles before the track day just to run them in, you know, so they're not completely fresh. And 25 laps roughly at Goodwood at a moderate pace had rendered the tyres gone on the outer edges. That is just shocking, really. It was just unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. Crazy, in fact. So I thought I can't buy any more Michelin Pilot Super Sports because they're 600 quid, about 150 quid a corner, and they will be gone after one half track day of 25 laps, which is just not acceptable. So I tried these bear with me, I tried these Kuhmo Ecsta PS91s, got them fitted for around about 350 quid for all 4. So we're not quite half the price. The reason they were so cheap because there was like a deal on them, you know, so you get some ridiculous deals every now and then. I got them from Black Circles. It's not an advert for Black Circles. You know, there's all these other online places where you can get them cheap and fitted that might do a better price at a certain time. But 350 quid fitted. Did a track day with them and straight away checked the treads, and there was no uneven wear issues like I had on the Michelins. So the first thing is, whatever was affecting those Michelins wasn't affecting those Ecsta PS91s. Let me know if you know what the issue is with those Michelins. It may be the reason they've been discontinued. Some people say there's a wear issue on them because I'd had a full alignment done on there, so I don't have bad alignment, but that track day just killed them. But only on the outside edge. The rest of the tyre was fine. I've heard people say about swapping out the lower arms on the suspension of these with the ones from the M4 to fix this issue. But whatever this issue is, I do not have it with these tyres. Okay guys, the next thing, out and out grip on the track, you know, dry grip. I'm going to give it to the Kuhmos guys, and this is based on doing track days with both tyres, but I found the Michelin Pilot Sports slightly more unpredictable than the Kuhmos. The Kuhmos would just always stick, whereas the Michelin Pilot Sports sometimes did some unpredictable things. Oh shit! Help! Way! Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, brake! It's on Goodwood, there's a track section where it's called No Name, and then it's called St Mary's, where it goes to the left. And it's the only time I've ever felt oversteer on this car on the track. And that was turning left into St Mary's when you're going really quick. It would turn in and actually oversteer, and I'd come off the track on the inside almost. In fact, I showed a little clip of it once of me nearly coming off, and that scared the hell out of me. I've never got that turn-in oversteer with these Kuhmos. And it was before the dip down as well. So it was turning oversteer has been eliminated with the Kuhmos. And I also feel that these Kuhmos don't need as much time to kind of warm up as the Michelin Pilot Super Sports. You need to put you need to get some heat into those to get them going. Whereas these, I think, even on the first out lap, you can feel like the grip is there. In terms of stability under braking, guys, I can't really notice the difference between the two tyres. They both feel fine in that sense. The car's pretty well balanced, you know, so I can't tell the difference. In terms of response, the steering kind of feel, well, how the car feels when you've got these tyres in. The Kuhmos are supposed to have much harder tyre walls, which is something that my friend Mark Cup 70, who's also run these tyres and done a review on them, noticed, because he had the tyres in the back of his boot. So the tyre walls on these Kuhmos are a lot stiffer, and perhaps that gives you a better responsive feel, or less kind of rubbery feel underneath you when compared to the Michelin Pilot Super Sports, and in particular the what's it called, the PS4s that Mark runs now, which have got very, very soft tyre walls. Noise, no idea guys, no idea. I've not measured the difference, but can't notice that the Kuhmos are any louder or more noisy than the Michelin Pilot Super Sports. Next thing, wet grip. I'm going to give that to the Michelin Pilot Super Sports. That is one thing I noticed with this car, having these tyres on in winter, is that the wet grip, especially when you're pulling away, like, is not quite the same. And that's one negative with these tyres. On this particular car, that's got a lot of power, you know, in the rear end, I was losing traction a lot more through accelerating with these than I was the Michelin Pilot Super Sports. Next thing, guys, wear or durability. And this is a big negative of these tyres. And again, Mark Cup 70, go and check out his channel, ran these on his car, and he uses his M140s a daily, and he wore these tyres out, I think, in less than 10,000 miles, maybe even less, but very low. So it's probably, even though the tyre walls are hard, this compound on this tyre is probably a lot more soft and wears away quicker. So if you're using these tyres, you know, and putting a lot of miles on your 140 as a daily driver, then you're not going to get the sort of durability that you might get from a Michelin or another tyre. The next thing, guys, the price. Well, the price of these is the main reason why they're so fantastic. Just to give you an example, you're going to be looking at around about 85 quid for a kind of 18-inch 225 width tyre, roughly. 85 quid up to around about 110, something like that, for 255 wider tyre. You know, the profiles will change as well, so the prices always vary. That gives you a good idea. But so typically less than 100 quid a corner, so you'll probably be able to get these for about 400 quid for your sizes, whatever your requirements are. That's significantly cheaper than the Michelin Pilot Super Sports and other tyres. You know, your likes of your kind of Bridgestones, your Goodyears and all that sort of stuff. So the price is great. However, you've got to factor in that wear. So if you're using this dailies, that it's a little bit of a false economy. So I want to wrap this up, guys. Would I recommend Kumho Ecsta PS91s? I would recommend them over the Michelin Pilot Super Sports because of that horrible issue I had with the tyre being worn after 1.5 day track session at Goodwood, driving moderately. You know, that was a shocker. I think they're a great dry tyre for use on a track where you have a leaning to wanting that track performance over how they perform on the road. The biggest showstopper is what Mark told me about the wear rate of them when you're using them for road use. That kills the fact that the tyre is phenomenal value for me. And the wet grip isn't great either, in my opinion, compared to the Michelin Pilot Super Sports, which are able to put the power down a little bit more in the wet than these particular tyres. But other than that, guys, I have a hell of a lot of confidence in these tyres. Really impressed. Reg runs them on his 330. The dry grip levels are superb and they're really predictable tyres for UK summer conditions, and they were able to withstand that kind of track abuse without ever kind of going off, you know. So I am pretty impressed with them in one sense. So I hope that explains what I think you're getting. Good value if you're going to really predominantly use them on the track and your car isn't a daily where you're worried about the average kind of wear and tear. So yeah, it's a solid performance for the Kumho Ecsta PS91s. If you like what I say, check them out, guys, and I don't think you will be disappointed. And I hope I've captured everything about them that's important. Let me know your opinions on them as well in the comments, because just like the detailing products, we get a really good level of information in the comments on these particular tyres. Thanks for watching. I will see you soon on the Forensics Detailing channel. Bye for now.